you're invited to visit the refreshment stand, where you'll be greeted with fast, friendly service. You'll find hot dogs, juicy hamburgers, and mouth-watering delicious pizza. There are refreshing hot and cold beverages, ice-cold cola, and orange drink. Goes great with an order of crispy French fries. Then there's a wide selection of your favorite candies and other delicious snacks. And there's always a fresh batch of hot buttered popcorn to go with the rest of the show. So visit the refreshment stand now during this 10-minute intermission and add to your enjoyment of the movie. We're happy to have you with us tonight and hope you'll come back often.
Because I am agoraphobe and you are not. Hey everybody, this is Agoraphobe here. Thanks for joining us. This is I'm here with the creators of Christmas Cruelty. Well, one of the creators, and his partner now. I'm with let me see how you pronounce it. Per-ingvar Tomren and Ray Volle. And yeah, I've admired your film for a while, man. I don't know if you had anything to do, Ray, if you had anything to do with Christmas Cruelty or.
Yeah, I was pretty much into that movie from the get-go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was the director of photography, and then later I helped them produce it.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how we started working together, and we just kept going. Yeah.
That's where we met in pre-production of that movie.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I have to say that first off, man, that movie. When you get in an early movie from somebody, a lot of times you'll get the acting and everything where they'll talk real loud, or you'll get the dialogue that almost sounds like like pornography dialogue, where they'll be like, "Yeah, stick it here," you know what I mean, or you know what I mean. That's not like that in that film. It was very natural. Like one of the first things that I want to ask you guys is the three of you that are friends there, you and Magni and is her name
Alina?
Alina? Okay, that's how it's pronounced. Do you guys go back like in school and stuff like that? Like were you guys good friends? Because it felt like you guys went back in school, like you guys had known each other for many years.
No, not in real life. But that's what we were going for in the movie. But in real life, Magne was the electrician in my apartment, the same apartment I live in Christmas Cruelty. And we started talking, and he said he wanted to make movies, and I said I wanted to make movies, and we decided to make a movie, and we started a couple of years later on Christmas Cruelty. And Alina, she just got attached to the project, so we had never met her before we started looking for the female lead for this movie.
Well, in my opinion, you guys definitely accomplished that.
Oh, thank you. Very glad to hear that.
Definitely. Like I said, you get early movies from some people, or you know what I mean. Like I didn't know until I started doing some background on you that you being Per-ingvar. Okay, Per-ingvar. That you had done a lot more than this. I actually started checking into this and found out there's actually a sequel.
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
In progress, yeah, and you had done some other stuff too, man. Like Headless Entanglement, Lust,
Yeah.
Jihad on Wheels, School of the Dead. You worked on Bonsai, motherfucker. Go Cartopolis.
Most of those are really simple projects, like the School of the Dead and Bonsai Motherfucker and the Go Cartopolis. Right. That's just simple short films and easy stuff to put together. But
to be fair, Headless Entanglement was supposed to be easy and simple as well.
Yeah, we're still working on that actually.
Yeah,
but we did have a version finished in 2019.
Well, when I'm done with these questions, I definitely want to talk about Easter Cruelty for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Oh, and just to warn everybody that's going to be watching this, there's going to be spoilers because I'm going to be telling the shit. So, my questions and comments are going to be aimed toward that. Okay, so how did all this get started? Did you grow up wanting to make films, or I mean, did you grow up wanting to be a rock star? What would happen?
Yeah, I've always been into movies and stuff like that. And when I was about 15 years, I had an accident with my wheelchair, and I had to spend the entire summer at the hospital. And my grandmother gave me a VHS of Reservoir Dogs, the first Tarantino movie. And when I watched that, I decided, like, oh man, I want to become a filmmaker. This is what I want to do. And I just tried to make movies for a lot of years, and we finally made something that we could show to an audience with Christmas Cruelty about 10 years later.
Tarantino did that for a lot of people. Tarantino.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He is. He made it possible. He made you feel like that you could do it too. He did something that I used to do when I was a kid. See, when I was a kid, see, I'm 50 now, and GI Joes, the 3.75-inch GI Joes were big, and I used to make movies with my GI Joe guys.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it when I heard that he did that too.
Yeah, he did that too.
I was like, wow.
They got into trouble with his mom because they were swearing and stuff. And like, no, it's not me, it's the GI Joe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think most filmmakers my age is filmmakers because of Tarantino.
Oh hell yeah! Well, as far as horror, what's your influences?
I've always loved horror movies, and I used to go and spend the vacations with my cousin, and his neighbor had the greatest collection of horror movies that we could rent for very little money. We paid like $1 and we could fill like a plastic bag with movies. And there was a lot of stuff that was totally banned and illegal in Norway at the time. Like Cannibal Holocaust, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, movies like that was banned in Norway. But he had all of those uncut. So that was a gold mine when I was like 10, 11 years old and until I got grown up.
Yeah, well, very cool because your movie is actually on my. It's on one night a week. I have an extreme movie. I mean, like I'm horror all the time, but one night a week. Let me see. I do an extreme movie. I started this like a month ago. My first week was Cannibal Holocaust. My second week was Mother's Day. Let me see. My third week. Oh, I can't remember what I did my third. Oh, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Fourth week is going to be Christmas Cruelty.
Thank you. It's great company for our movie.
And then right after that, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. High Tension, and then after that is going to be Audition. So you're smack dab right in there. So you made it right in there with great company with Extreme because it's definitely extreme, and it's just I love films like that. Last House on the Left.
That was a big inspiration on this movie.
Maniac from 1980.
Yeah,
definitely. All right. And yeah, you're more than welcome to throw in your answers too. I'm asking both of you guys.
Yeah, it's, I more fell into it, I suppose. I can't remember how, but I took up still photography when I was young, and eventually I didn't feel like it was enough of a challenge, so I started working more in the film, but like commercials and just school projects and those sort of things. And that's when I heard about the project he was doing with Christmas Cruelty. And they were like asking for anyone to come and help them, and I just thought, well, it could be fun to just stop by one day and see how they're doing it. Maybe that's fun. And we've been working together every day since. So I guess I kind of liked it. So
our only demand is that you work for free.
Yeah. And
if you work for free, then you can work on our movie.
Yeah.
That's basically the same way that George Romero did it. They got together with a group of friends and a bunch of people that just had a passion, man. That's what it's all about, passion.
Yeah. He's a really big inspiration, both on this movie and me as a filmmaker. And we were so happy when we got to work with Lynn Laurie from The Crazies on Headless Entanglement.
Excellent. I didn't know that. Very cool.
Oh, yeah. That was a big deal for us.
Yeah. She makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Oh, she was so nice to work with.
Oh, yeah. She's a super cool lady.
Excellent. So the actors are just did you have to pay anybody much of anything, or was everybody
not
just
much? No.
Just looking to stick their name in there to try to make a name and try to get their name out there too, or?
Most people in that movie just wanted to have the experience of making a movie.
Right.
When we made Christmas Cruelty, there was no other people making movies in the area where we live.
Yeah, it's the first one I had heard about all my life, so I just had to grab the opportunity.
So people who wanted to just try be in a movie, this was their opportunity. So most people just did it for fun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was a few actors that we compensated if they lost work or stuff like that. So if they had to work with us when they were supposed to work, we paid them what they lost.
That's cool.
But other than that, nobody got paid on this movie.
No.
Everybody lost money on it. Yeah. Still have.
hey, but you turned out a really good extreme horror film, man. Tormod, man, that dude he is such the perfect serial killer because he looks like for instance, if you turn on YouTube and you could turn on anyone you want of a serial killer, and any one of them looks like they could be him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, he is brilliant in that part.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man, because he looks like he enjoys it. One of my favorite parts is the part after he cuts the guy's head off and he goes to take the piss.
Yeah.
And he has to turn the guy's head away before he can piss because it's just not happening.
Yeah.
And then he has to stop for a second. He's like, man, stop looking at me. He turns around. It's fantastic. He offers him a bite of the sandwich. I was like, wow.
And the guy we cut the head off, that is my cousin. So I got him to do it because he's my cousin.
Yeah.
You have to use family and friends for projects like this.
Cool. Who did the physical effects?
Mostly me.
Excellent.
Yeah, we
Most
didn't have
is
any
an understatement.
Yeah, we didn't have any money, so we had to do everything ourselves.
Very
So
great job.
I sent a message to the guy who did the special effects for a Norwegian zombie movie called Dead Snow.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen it. So he told me how I could make stuff and where I could buy the silicone and the blood and stuff like that. And then I just started making it.
Did you have to practice a little bit first, or?
No, there was no time for that. So I just had to start. I believe I made Eline's body, the body that we stab when we kill her.
Right.
And I just had to start on that right away and then make the head for my cousin and stuff like that. There was no time to practice or anything like that.
Because you spent
Speaking of
like
that-
6 months on the head.
Yeah, it took a while to make like the head and the body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, they're very well done, man. Thumbs up
Oh,
on
thank
that.
you.
I'm sure. Very good.
And
very
you can
good.
see like the guy that we killed with the hammer in my kitchen. I had run out of time, so that head looks a lot worse than the earlier effects. I didn't have enough time to finish it the way I wanted, so that looks kind of bad.
Well, the way the camera work and everything is done, and the speed of it, and how fast it goes by, you really can't tell.
I can, but thank you.
Right. Speaking of her, I had her picked out as a survivor girl, as the final girl,
That's what we were trying to set up.
and damn, she's dead before you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the
So,
last one. I'm the final girl.
I mean, this guy is a deviant, man. He is just. You guys went everywhere most filmmakers are afraid to go, and almost every filmmaker in America in the last 30, 40 years is afraid to go to.
That was kind of the idea behind the movie, because I had seen a documentary with Francis Ford Coppola about the Apocalypse Now. And he said he found all the pieces for the title sequence in a trash can in the editing room. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if we made a movie that was like it was just made of pieces from the trash in the editing room? It's just pieces that are too gory and extreme to put in a mainstream movie, and too mundane and boring to put in a mainstream movie. And just put those two together and see if we can make it like another movie. So that was the idea behind it.
Very cool. Very cool. Did you do most of the writing, or did you guys write together, or
Yeah.
Me and
Magne and Eline, everybody contributed on the screenplay, but I guess I did most of the writing. I rewrote a lot of the other stuff, so I changed a lot of the stuff that the other guys wrote.
A lot of people wrote stuff, but everything went through Pitt at the end. So,
yeah.
The final stamp of Gore approval.
But we figured like the killer, he was much better without a script.
Yeah.
So we just told him like, in this scene, this is what we're trying to get across, and he improvised. So we rarely had any kind of script. We maybe gave him 1 or 2 lines, like try to get this point across, and sometimes he just had like a post-it note with the code to the credit card or something. That's everything he had for the scene, and like just because he was
fun.
yeah. He was much better without a script, so everybody is different.
Definitely.
We couldn't improvise if our lives depended on it, so we needed a script.
How about the directing? Who was that? Just like a team effort? Or?
Yeah, I might have like pushed my opinion through more often than not there also, but yeah. So both me and Magne and Raymond did some directing on this movie.
Did you act in it out of a necessity, or did you want to be in your film?
It's not really that I wanted, but I wanted the experience of being an actor, because I figured that would be very useful for a director later on to know how it feels to be an actor. So
Very
that's
good point.
really, I wanted to do everything in this movie because I wanted to understand every aspect of movie making because I figured that would make me a better director. So
That
it's not that I think I look good on screen or are a good actor or anything, but I figured the experience would be valuable for me.
that's interesting that you say that because Keith Gordon that was in Jaws
Christine and
2
yeah,
and Christine
Christine
and
and
Dress to Kill.
Dress to Kill,
What
yeah, is great in that.
what it's after Christine, after he played Arnie in Christine and watched John Carpenter work, that he decided he wanted to become a director. So
Yeah,
it's like it worked the opposite for him, and he hasn't really been in much of a movie since. He's directed ever since.
yeah.
So and he was a damn good little actor as far as I thought. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, absolutely.
He sells Christine. That character is Arnie. You can see that turn like that, and
Yeah,
it's so smooth.
that's a great movie.
Yeah, I just did a watch along with a couple of friends of mine of that a few days ago.
Okay,
Let me see. Um,
we are big Carpenter fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
we got to go
definitely.
to a concert he had in Oslo a couple of years ago, back in 2016. That was
Oh,
very cool.
with him and his son and that friend of his and all that.
It was just him on
Yeah, I
a
think so.
keyboard.
Really, Cody Carpenter wasn't there with him, huh? Well,
No,
okay.
not on that concert. It was just John Carpenter, and they played like scenes from his movies
Right.
projected behind him, and he was playing on a keyboard music from the movies. It was so cool.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Um, as far as Magna goes, was he a musician beforehand, or was that his
Yeah,
song that he plays, or?
yeah. So he's been playing music all his life, I guess. So
I suppose so.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he also
Yeah,
made some movies earlier on and stuff like that. And but he was an electrician at the time we started on this project, so that's how we met. But he
he
wanted
plays
to
this.
make music and movies. That's what he dreamt about doing.
He plays this sweet song that would swoon any chick, and then immediately turns it around and starts referring to chicks as cunts and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like, damn.
I actually wrote that song. That's one of the 2 songs I written, and I did it just to set up the joke afterwards. So that entire song is just a setup for that joke.
I used to be a musician. I wrote thousands of songs. I used to, but when I got to be about 30 or so, the town that I lived in was a smaller town, and hadn't protected myself, so I started, making babies, and I had to make a decision whether either to be a dad or to leave my kids and run off and be a musician and try to make it big. I chose to be a dad. So
Yeah, I see that. The stuff we do, it would be very difficult to do if we had a family.
yeah, because the kids didn't choose to be here, so why make them suffer? I grew up without a dad, and I know
Yeah,
how that feels, and I didn't want to put them through the same thing. So
no. Making music and movies and stuff, it's very insecure.
yeah,
And time consuming.
Yeah,
and you have to go somewhere where there's a scene for it, or you know what I mean. You're not going to make it from some small little town.
no.
Let's see.
Actually, making movies, it was kind of a good break for us that it was a small town, because people were so excited something was happening here. So we could do whatever we wanted. We could lock down highway. No, there's no highways here. Roads. We could take over like the bar for several months. We could do whatever we wanted. Like City Hall, we took over for a couple of days.
The shopping mall we took.
The shopping mall.
The mayor's office.
Yeah. So if it had been in a larger city, we wouldn't have been able to do all the stuff we did in our movies so far. So for us, it has been great to be in a small town.
Like nobody cares when we move the body parts around. And
Yeah.
I love how he packs all the parts in there and then takes off. First, he leaves, and what I expected to happen is when he leaves and comes back, I expected Magna and and the other dude to be there and to fuck him up, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, he just walks in and chops fucking legs and arms and shit off and everything, and then just takes the parts with him and leaves. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, there's gonna be a part 2. There's gonna be a part 2. And then I started doing my homework and checking into it, and I said, oh shit, Easter cruelty. Okay, here we go. And then I watched the little trailer, and I said, there he is. There's that son of a bitch.
We figured he is so much both stronger and smarter than us, so he would just come out of this clean, not get caught, not get killed, nothing.
Now he's burning up houses and shit. I see him lighting up a cigar and standing there just he loves to acknowledge and stand there and just cherish his work. I know.
Oh yeah, he does like being a serial killer.
Most do. Most just don't have the balls that he has. You know what I mean? He has the balls. He just don't seem to give a shit. I love that line when he says, yeah, sweetheart, I'll be home as soon as I finish this guy off. I was like, hell yeah. But I could tell that you guys were American film fans, not just horror.
Oh yeah,
but all. You got the Goodfellas poster. You got the Jaws mouse pad. You even got, and I love that shining snow globe. It's awesome.
Yeah. We grew up on American movies, so when we have gone to the US, we feel more at home in the US than we ever did in Norway, just because we have lived through movies.
Yeah. Everything is familiar.
Yeah. And we go to all those places from the movies, like we did a Romero tour of Pennsylvania. We visited like the cemetery from Night of the Living Dead, the mall from Dawn of the Dead, bunker from Day of the Dead, Evan City from The Crazies. And like The Shining, we went to the original hotel from Stephen King's book in Colorado and stayed there for a couple of nights.
Excellent. That's stuff I haven't even done. I'm right here in the States.
Yeah. We actually went through Indiana last year because it was smack between Pennsylvania and that bridge in Escape from New York that you mentioned in your episode, that Chained of All Rocks bridge that you said Carpenter had gotten from for $1 from the city.
Yes.
Yeah, you talked about that in your episode, and we went to that bridge last year. And Indiana is between those two places, so we actually went through Indiana last year.
Oh, I didn't know that you'd actually watch some of my stuff. Cool.
Oh yeah. I watched it's just been like 2 weeks or something since I found you, so I haven't watched everything, but I watched quite a bit, and I watched like the 2 episodes with Dan Shane from Fleshwind Features.
Oh, Dan is cool. Dan's a really cool guy. He said you're doing some work on your new Blu-ray or something like that.
Oh yeah. So on the Blu-ray, the guys in Fleshwind Features are all over the special features. So they are on like a watch-along thing that we did with them, and all of them, Dan and Pugs and Mike and Todd, are all over like a documentary that's like almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Very cool. Damn. See, I didn't know he was, and it just blew my mind because Dan got a hold of me, and Dan was like, "Hey, the creators of Christmas Cruelty are trying to get a hold of you," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're trying to get a hold of you on the Facebook," and I was like, "I don't ever use that agoraphobe thing, because I used the one that has my real name." So I said, "Well, give him this one, you know what I mean, and tell me to hold my Instagram." And he said, "Well, I sent him your your actual Facebook because and then he got a hold of me, and I was like, "Well, shit, man." I was like, "That is very cool." I do a shitload of watch-alongs. You guys have to join me sometime.
Oh yeah, sure.
I've done like 100. I've done like 100 and some in like the last year or so.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I saw your episode on Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. I've seen a couple of your episodes.
Cool. Hopefully, I do a pretty decent job with them.
Oh yeah, you're doing great. Well, keep up the good work.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, have you seen any of my collection vids?
No, I haven't seen any of those yet.
They're most of those aren't on the live. They're on the video side.
Okay, yeah, I started on the other page, and I haven't finished that yet. So I'm on Silent Night. I am watching that right now, but I didn't finish before the interview.
Yeah, my last couple, I wasn't feeling too good last week, so my last couple, let me see, I'm trying to tell you a couple to stay away from them. My last couple of most recent ones, I was not feeling very well, and I just let me see, last week's Extreme Theater wasn't all that good. I just was not feeling well, but I'm
Yeah.
feeling much better now. So your guys' episode is going to kick some ass. Let me see. Anything else I want? Oh, tell me about these. Now, which ones did you write and direct out of all these I have wrote here? I have Headless Entanglement and
Yeah,
see,
Headless Entanglement is pretty much me and Raymond, like 90% of the time.
That's
we
my
wrote.
Next one I'm gonna check out.
Yeah, we wrote it and directed it, and we are the main actors, and he is the crew. So he did the sound and the camera work and everything. So if he is in the shot and had to do like a focus change or something on the camera, we had to build a fake Raymond.